there, so today's video we're going to go through the highest yielding real estate investment trusts available on the market right now. They start at almost 8% all the way up to 14%, so these are properly high yielding stocks. As I go through, I will let you know which ones I have personally invested in already. I'll also let you know which ones are below book value, and I'll do that as we go through, as well as any comments I have, as well as what sector each one is in. So that is what we've got to look forward to in today's video. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name's Andy, and on this channel I like to talk about money and success. If you're interested in making, saving and investing money, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell, and then you get notified every time I release a new video. And if you enjoy this video and find it useful, please do remember to give it a thumbs up, because that helps the YouTube algorithm, which in turn helps me, and of course I do appreciate it. This is a third in my high yield by sector series. Today, obviously, as I said, we're going to be going through REITs. I have excluded mortgage REITs, which are typically high yield, but they're finance, whereas in today's video, all of the REITs that I'm covering in today's video are real estate investment trusts by the true terms, in that they actually own properties. Now, they are in different sectors, so we've got office REITs, retail REITs, diversified REITs, specialty REITs, and so on, and I will tell you which sector each one is in as we go through. As I said earlier, I will also let you know which of them I'm already investing in myself. I'll also let you know which ones are in below book value, so that if you are looking for bargains, so to speak, you can then do a little bit further research yourself. If you are looking to invest in any of these, do your research yourself, because I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice, but this is probably a great starting point list for anybody looking to build out a high yielding portfolio. So with all that said, let's just dive in. So high yield REITs. The first one on the list is a Gladstone Commercial Corporation. That's ticker symbol GOOD, G-O-O-D. The dividend yield is 7.95%. The dividend frequency is monthly. So if you want a nice monthly income, this is one that will give you monthly income. REIT type is an office and industrial REIT. My notes there. Dividend has been stable since 2008 with slight increases, so good for monthly income. However, book value per share has been in decline since 2013, only just increasing slightly in 2020. That's the first year of increases since 2013, which has been year-on-year declines before then. So it's not really one I'm looking for. Okay, next REIT, City Office REIT, ticker symbol CIO. Dividend yield is 8.02%. It pays its dividends quarterly. It's an office REIT, and its area is southern and western United States. Its dividends were reduced in 2020, but it has since come back, although not quite to pre-pandemic levels. Book value per share has increased from $3.32 per share in 2012 up to $17.39 in 2020. So that is a very good sign. Currently, it is on sale well below book value at $9.98 per share. So possibly one you might want to look a little bit deeper into. Let's move on. So next one is EPR Properties, ticker symbol EPR. Dividend yield is 8.09%. This one pays its dividends monthly. It is a leisure and specialty REIT. And my notes there, dividends were stopped in 2020, but it has since come back, although not quite to pre-pandemic levels yet. However, this one is one that I do invest in myself. I have made many videos on EPR Properties. I'm actually a big fan of this particular company. I've made a lot of money on it, I'll be honest with you. I was saying this was a good buy back when it was in its 20s. It still has room to grow, in my humble opinion. I've made so many videos. I've got a playlist of them. I'll put a link up there and in the description down below if you are interested in learning more about EPR Properties. But yeah, suffice to say, I do like this one. I think it's got more room to grow, but bear in mind it did stop its dividends in 2020, mainly because of the lockdowns. So if you think there's going to be more lockdowns, this isn't one for you. If you're like me and you think there's not going to be any more lockdowns, this is one you could consider, and I personally think has a lot of room for growth. And if you want to know more about that, like I say, check out the previous videos I've made, because I've gone into great depth about that. But let's carry on now. Next one is Vornado Realty Trust, ticker symbol VNO. This one has a dividend yield of 8.23%. It pays its dividends quarterly. It's a New York focused REIT made up of 66% office, 14% mart, as in retail, and 20% normal retail. Dividends were reduced in 2020, but have since come back, although not pre-pandemic levels yet. Have dropped and increased again in the past, so it's not been a continual up. Currently set as a sell according to the quant rating on Seeking Alpha, and it's currently selling slightly below its book value, but only a little bit. Its book value is $27.40 per share versus a current share price of $25.77 per share. Next one, Modiv Inc, ticker symbol MDV. The dividend frequency is monthly, and that is a dividend yield of 8.24%. This is a single tenant retail, office and industrial properties REIT throughout the United States. So it's basically a diversified REIT. My notes here say only started paying dividends in early 2020, but have been stable so far. It's currently selling well below book value. Book value is $20.95 per share versus a current share price of $10.47 per share, although it is worth being aware book value has declined down from $29.07 per share since 2015. So it is in decline, so that's not exactly a good signal there. Omega Healthcare Investors Inc, ticker symbol OHI, dividend yield is 8.32%. It pays its dividends quarterly. This one is very, very popular with dividend growth investors. It's a triple net equity REIT specializing in nursing care homes in the USA and UK. It's essentially a medical REIT. My notes here say the dividends have been climbing since 2004, but did stop completely back in the year 2000, which obviously was 22 years ago. It did also dip in 2016, but overall great growth trend in dividends. So certainly one to consider. Next one, Hudson Pacific Properties Inc, ticker symbol HPP. The dividend yield on this one is 8.42%. It pays its dividends quarterly. It is an office REIT. Its dividends have either been increased or stayed stable since it started paying them and have over doubled since 2010. Selling well below book value at the moment. The book value per share is $20.75 per share versus a price of $11.87 per share. NewLace Capital Partners, ticker symbol NLCP. The dividend yield on this one is 8.5%. The frequency is quarterly. It's an industrial triple net lease REIT provider of real estate capital to state licensed cannabis operators. So this is the only one on the list that is specialized in cannabis operating units, if you like. Dividends have grown every quarter, but it is still very new. Only started paying dividends in 2021, so we've got a little more than a year's worth of history on that. Currently selling well below book value. Its book value per share is $19.89 per share, and its current share price is $16. So if you're somebody who thinks that the cannabis trade is going to be growing and medical cannabis and the like is going to be legalized, and regular cannabis is going to be legalized in the US, then this is one you may want to get into. It's essentially, this is your real estate cannabis play, if that's your thing. Next one. Global Medical REIT Inc, ticker symbol GMRE. Dividend yield is 8.76%. Frequency is quarterly. It is again a medical REIT. Global Medical REIT is a net lease medical office REIT that acquires purpose-built specialized healthcare facilities and leases those facilities to strong healthcare systems and physician groups with leading market share. Yes, I lifted that straight off their website. Notes, very stable, slow growth dividends since switching from monthly to quarterly dividends back in 2016. SL Green Realty Corp, ticker symbol SLG. The dividend yield on this one is a nice juicy 8.99%. It pays its dividends monthly. It's a office REIT focused primarily on acquiring, managing and maximizing value of Manhattan commercial properties. So it's New York based essentially. Notes, changed from quarterly to monthly dividends in 2020 and have since increased dividends twice. Currently trading below book value. Book value per share is $69.43. The current share price meanwhile is $41.48. Next one. Sabra Healthcare REIT, ticker symbol SBRA. The dividend yield on this one is 9.07%. It pays its dividends quarterly. It is a healthcare REIT with properties in the USA and Canada. Notes it's reduced its dividends in 2020 and have not increased them again since. Currently trading slightly below book value. Book value per share is $13.89 per share, whereas the share price is currently $13.23 per share. Just a really small discount there at the moment. Next up, we've got Medalist Diversified REIT Inc, ticker symbol MDRR. This is a diversified REIT which has shopping centres, industrial and business park. It pays a 9.08% dividend yield. It pays its dividends quarterly. It stopped dividends altogether in 2020 and then has restarted them a lot lower than the pre-pandemic levels not increased yet since. The book value per share has been falling year on year from $7.66 in 2017 down to just $1.04 today. It is currently below book value, selling at only 77 cents per share. That makes it a penny stock. That is a proper collapse right there. But it has a high yield, obviously. Anyway, very, very cheap. This is officially a penny stock. There you go. Next one. Medical Properties Trust Inc. Ticker symbol MPW. Now, if you've been following this channel, you're already subscribed, you will know I have shares in this because very recently I did a video letting you about high yield dividend stocks that are currently selling below book value. This was one of them. And in that video, I did let you know that I was buying at this particular stock, and of course I did buy slightly less than it is now. It has gone up a little bit since then, but if you were subscribed, you would have known and you would have been able to buy in then as well. So if you haven't hit that button, hit the subscribe button now. There's a good chap. Thank you very much. Or lady, if there's a lady for my 2 lady viewers. Thank you. So notes. Dividends have increased year on year since 2013 and were stable before that, but did take a fall back in 2008. The book value per share has been growing year on year from $7.48 in 2012 up to $14.74 in 2020 and is currently selling below book value still at $12.55 per share. It's got a very juicy dividend yield of 9.24% and it pays its dividends quarterly. It is a healthcare REIT. It has hospitals and care facilities. And as I said, this is one I like. It's one I've invested in myself. It's one of the most recent ones I have invested in. So that is MPW. Let's move on. Brandywine Realty Trust. If you're anything like me, when you saw that name, you probably thought, wow, this is going to be like vineyards and wine and things. No, nothing so interesting. This is just an office REIT. Sorry about that, folks. So ticker symbol is BDN. Nice big juicy dividend yield, 11.03%. It's quarterly dividends being paid there. Now, the notes I've got here, the dividends completely collapsed back in 2009, and whilst they have been increasing since 2010, they're still not back at the levels we saw in 2008. So 14 years have passed and the dividends still are not back where they were. That is a tragedy. The book value per share has also been declining year on year, down from $11.72 back in 2012 down to $9.48 in 2022, and it's currently selling below book value at $6.89 per share. But bear in mind, that is a declining book value, so there's no guarantee that that won't continue down. Okay, so it's one, if you are considering that, do proper research into it. Like I said, this is not one I own stocks in. Next. Generation Income Properties. What a good name. Ticker symbol GIPR. The dividend yield on this is 11.34%, which is just brilliant. It's paid monthly. The REIT type is a diversified REIT. It has retail, office and industrial spaces spread across the USA. It's reduced dividends in 2020, then changed from quarterly to monthly dividends in 2021, then reduced its dividends again in 2022. Not exactly a great sign. Currently selling very slightly below book value. Book value per share is $5.13 and the current sale price per share is $5.11 per share. Next. Global Net Lease, ticker symbol GNL. Now the dividend yield on this is a nice juicy 12.38%. It pays its dividends quarterly. It's a diversified REIT and it's a global REIT, 65% of which is in the USA. The rest is elsewhere, including the UK, Germany and the like. 41% of this is office REIT, 3% retail, 56% is industrial. I actually have another note that's off screen where I've put diversification of countries is very nice. I just don't personally like the office segment being so big. I'm not a fan of office REITs. I'm completely honest with you, office REITs are just not my thing. Notes, used to pay monthly dividends but changed to quarterly in 2020 and also reduced its dividend in 2020 and has not increased them since. It's currently selling below book value, but book value per share is $14.18, whereas the current share price is $12.92. So it is essentially at a discount at the moment. Book value has declined, however, from $23.53 per share in 2013 down to the $14.18 in 2022, which is obviously not a great sign. Next, RTL, the Necessity REIT. I liked the name when I saw that one. Dividend yield is 12.96%, which we have to agree is fantastically high. Dividend frequency is quarterly. It is a retail and it has a mixture of retail from multi-tenant to service retail to single tenant retail units. It used to pay monthly dividends, but reduced them and then stopped them in 2020, then restarted dividends again, but as quarterly in 2021, and there's been no increases since. It's currently selling well below book value. Book value per share is $12.16, whereas the current sale price per share is $6.56. The book value per share has declined from $41.66 in 2013 down to just $12.16 in 2022. So I think you'll agree that's quite some big decline going on there. Next, Office Properties Income Trust, ticker symbol OPI. The dividend yield on this one is 14.18%. This is paying its dividends quarterly. It's a office REIT. Now, it has increased its dividends every year up until 2020. Then it stopped and they've stayed the same since. It is currently selling well below book value. The book value per share is $28.95 per share, whereas the current sale price per share is just $15.51 per share. However, be aware the book value per share has declined from $75.21 per share in 2013 down to $28.95 per share in 2022. So again, it's another one that's declining. I really hope you found that useful. If you're interested in seeing any more of my high yield by sector videos, please remember to subscribe and you'll get notified when I release more, or check out this video here. Have a nice day. Bye bye.